Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make something that's really in right now, and that's how to personalize your own pair of Air Force Ones. So some things you will need is, of course, your Craft and Besties transfer paper, and I'm using dark today. You need an X-Acto knife, uh, ink pen, painter's tape, and of course, your pair of Air Force Ones. So first thing we're going to do is create our template. So I'm going to put this to the side. And we're going to work with our painter's tape right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover up this panel right here with painter's tape. So I'm going to guesstimate about how long I think it is. And I'm just going to cover up this panel. Do I want to do the whole thing? Nope, I'm just going to cover up this panel right here. And I'm going to indent, press in around my shoe. You see how you can see that curve now? And then you just want to take it down and press in right here as well. Push in, press in. When you get to that piece here where it meets, you want to press it in. So you want to do the toe part like that as well. Start from the middle, push out. As soon as you get to where it meets that seam is, you want to press. Push in and press. And this will help you form a more accurate template. All right, so now we have these two side pieces right here. Push it in the middle and press towards your crease. If you don't have fingernails to press, because this is what I'm using right now, if you don't have fingernails, you can just get like a blunt object to press in your curves, your corners. Try not to puncture a hole in it. All right, you can't see that side, but you saw this side. All right, so I think I have all my sides pressed in, and this is what it looks like. You see how it's indented right there? That's the way you want it all the way around. All right, make sure your tapes are overlapping. So when you take it off. All right, I am going to trace around it inside those creases. Try not to put a hole in it. All right, so I have my trace all the way around. And I'm just going to pull this off, making sure all the tape is overlapping and it's staying together. If it comes apart, just push it back down and put it back together. Just take your time. Some things require patience if you want it to be perfect, or if you want it to at least look presentable. All right. So now we have this template. And you want to do the same thing for your check mark. Get your tape, kind of see how long it is, and apply your tape. Push it from the middle outward. get your crease. And then you see we have a little spot that's left uncovered. We're going to cover that piece too. All right, so now that we have our check mark, we go ahead and repeat the same process, trace it. Oops. All right, and then you want to just pull it off. Now you want to take your X-Acto knife and cut around your template. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I cut around my template, I'm not going to cut on the line. I'm going to cut just a little bit past the line. And that's to give me some extra space just in case if I cut it too short. And we can always clean up the excess at the end. I'm going to get a smaller cutting mat so I can just move my mat instead of moving my template so much. I don't want to risk the chance of ripping it or something. All right, so I'm going to stick it on here. And now I can move my cutting mat instead of my template. Ah, shoot. I did it. There, easy fix. All right, so just keep cutting around. Remembering to leave a little space in between where you're cutting and your trace line. You want to make sure your X-Acto knife is sharp, because if not, you will get some pieces like that. All right, so we have our template all cut out. And it should look like this. Maybe I'll start from the bottom just to try to keep the template together. God dang it, I did it again. Oh, that's all right. If you lift it up, just try to put it back down in the same spot. Okay, so now that we have this off of our cutting board, we can put that to the side, and you want to do the same thing for your check mark. Remember to cut around the line that you drew, so that can give us a little extra to play with. And we'll clean it up at the end. Just pull your tape up. All right, be careful. I'm trying to be careful so I don't pull up the top piece of this check mark and mess it up. All right, after you have your check mark and you have your top panel, you want to make sure that they fit. Just to see if we need to make another template. I can't get it on all the way. Come on. All right, there. And so it fits right in there perfectly with just a little overlap. And that's what we want. All right, let's see if the check mark fits. And that fits on perfect as well. All right, so now we want to take this over to our scanner, and we're going to scan this in. And I'm working out of Silhouette, so once it scans in, I'm going to bring it into my Silhouette program. All right, so once I have scanned in my template, it will actually scan it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So it's going to make the template the correct size that you need it, the actual size you need it to be. And I also have my pattern that I want to print out on my transfer paper, as well as what I want it to say. So I am going to go to my trace panel, which is over here on your right hand side. You see that? And then you want to hit select trace. I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to do both of them at the same time. Click and drag over your colored area. And you want to go to your threshold to bring it up until all of it turns yellow. Because whatever's yellow is what we'll trace. So you want to go down here to your trace option, and now we can move this sheet to the side. So now we have our template here. I'm going to zoom in because I see that little piece right here. And I'm going to correct this, fix it because it's going to bug me. So you just double click it, and now you see these little dots. That's called your edit points. I'm going to hold down shift and select the ones that I don't want. And then delete point is going to show up, and you hit that, and that will take care of that. Now let me make sure my check is okay. Yep. Don't worry about these jagged edges because we can clean that up. All right, so now, excuse me, I want to drag my, first, before you make any changes, you want to always make a copy, well, duplicate whatever you're using, just in case you need it again. You'll have it just if you mess up. So I'm going to place this on the bottom of my template, and then I'm going to click and drag, and then go over here to the right panel to my modify panel and hit crop. Now I have my image in here. And I don't know if I like the position of it. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to just move it around until I get the placement correct or how I want it. Okay, so I think I got it how I want it. I'm going to click and drag. Oh. Let me show you guys something. These two, when I click this, they're still attached. So you want to hit right click and hit release compound path. So now it's two separate objects. Okay. I'm going to put my placement back how I had it and just release it down here. Now I want to click and drag and hit crop, and there. And then I'm going to put this here, bring this to the front. And you can put whatever image you would like on your shoes. I like to be extra a lot of times, so I'm so extra. That's what I'm going to put on my shoes. All right. Now we're going to duplicate this again so we can do the same thing for our check. Send that to the back so we can see our template. And that looks good to me. So I'm going to click and drag and hit crop. And there you go. Let me group these two. So now all you have to do is go to your page setup. And I am going to turn my registration marks on. Let's place the, let's see, my paper is not on. Turn the transparency back up. So I have these two on here. And for dark transfer paper, you do not have to mirror your image. You just print it out just regular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this to my printer, and I will be right back. All right, so we have our toe panel, and we have our check mark. So let's see. Looks like it's going to fit perfect into that space. And we have a heat gun. So what you want to do is you want to peel off your transfer paper from the backing and put this where you would like, line it up. Making sure our panels fit perfectly on the sides. All right, so it looks good to me where it's placed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with the heat. Well, not hit it with the heat gun, but I'm going to use my heat gun to heat it up. And I'm just going to tack down the middle for right now. just to make sure I have it in place where I want it to be. All right, I think I have it where I want it. I'm gonna tack it down. All right, so I have it tacked down. You see how when I tug on it, it's staying in place. So now I just want to do small sections at a time, heating it up so that can stick down as well. And you just want to do this until you get all of your template adhered to your top part of your shoe. And same thing for this one. When we made our template, I told you to make sure you push inside the corners, inside the seam. You want to do the same thing with this. Same thing applies for this. As you heat it, you can tap it down just to make sure it's stuck. Now that we have it stuck down, we want to get our X-Acto knife, make sure it's sharp so we can clean up the edges. And what I like to do, a tip that I like to do, let's see if my camera can pick it up. Right here, you can see that little indent. All right, camera. But right there where the indent is, I like to heat it up more so I can see around the edges, and that way I can know where to cut. Come on. Focus. Yeah, right around the edge, right here. And that's where you would clean up at with your X-Acto knife. So again, just heat it up so you can see that line all the way around, and that's where you would cut at. And you will burn your fingers. I'm just saying. I burnt mine several times. So now I'm going to cut. Being very careful not to cut your shoe. I normally have some small scissors over here as well. But you see how I just cleaned up that. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to focus so you can see what I'm doing. Well, I basically chopped that little piece off. So I'm going to go all the way around the edge, and I'll show you when I'm done. Once you have your template on and you've already cut around the edges, I normally go back around it because now your edges have kind of lifted up. So now you can adhere really well once you've cut it by just going back over it with your heat gun. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. There. And I've already done this side. Check mark. You'll see that. So there, you have it. And I bought some, I gotta see what it's called. Hold on one second. I bought some of this Angelus matte acrylic finish. So I'm gonna just paint over the top just to seal it. See how I like this? Just to seal it so it doesn't crack or come off, which I don't think it would crack, but yeah, just to seal it to help with scratches and everything. So I got this from Amazon. I also bought some of their colored paint too because I want to test out painting it myself. But for now, I love how the transfer paper, the Craft and Bestie transfer paper, the look that it's giving out. So there you have it. If you have any questions about how to apply it, or just any questions in general, just put a message down below. All right, bye.